Hi everyone, welcome to the IoT Hero Series. We're in Germany for the Platform Industry 4 and IIC event, and with me I have...
I'm Richard Soley. I'm Chairman and CEO of the Object Management Group and also Executive Director of the Industrial Internet Consortium. In fact, this meeting has been a week-long meeting of the Industrial Internet Consortium. And today, Wednesday, is a special meeting jointly with Platform Industry 4.0, part of our ongoing process of ensuring that the two architectures work together, the security frameworks work together, perhaps even some joint testbed efforts.
Okay. You were referred to earlier, Richard, as the godfather of the Industrial Internet Consortium. Can you give me, from your background as the godfather, can you give me a bit about the genesis of the organization?
Heck, I'm not even Italian. You're the one with the hat. I wouldn't have called myself the godfather, simply the executive director. So we're helping to bring together an ecosystem of organizations, companies, but also government agencies, universities, and so forth, to ensure that we build architectures, that we build security frameworks so that you can actually take advantage of Internet of Things technology in industrial systems. When I say industrial systems, I mean quite a few industries. So you might think only manufacturing, but that's not correct. It's also in transportation and logistics and healthcare and precision agriculture. All of these industries are going to be severely disrupted over the next 5 years. And it's important we learn together how they're going to be disrupted, what the new service and supply chains are going to look like, and how to take advantage of them. Where are the new products? Where are the new services? Today, the Industrial Internet Consortium is over 250 member organizations from over 30 countries. In only about 2.5 years, we were founded on March 27th, 2014 is when we went public. And during that time, we've been developing architectures and security frameworks, but more importantly, we've been developing test beds. Today, there are 26 running test beds, 21 of them are public. SAP is deeply involved in the testbed process, and in fact, also vice chairman of the organization, Tanja Rückert, is from SAP as well. And what those test beds do is test out the ideas of Internet of Things technology and industrial systems. We have one here in Germany focusing on tracing activities within a manufacturing plant. We have one in Southern California that's essentially reinventing electric grids. We have some in Asia focused on healthcare and systems integration. We have test beds in Ireland on integrating systems for what you can think of as smart country, smart city, smart county. So there's all of these areas are going to be deeply, deeply disrupted over the next few years. We need to understand the social disruptions, the technological disruptions, and how not to avoid them, how to take advantage of those disruptions.
Okay, but what's the need for these test beds? Do things not just work?
No, things do not just work. And in fact, I can't tell you which ones, but some of them are going to fail. Okay. So the test bed is to learn. We have to learn, how do we apply Internet of Things technology? How do we become successful with Internet of Things technology in industrial systems? How do we also fail? Some of them, as I say, are going to fail. So we're learning all the time best practices. Where are the needs for standards to ensure security and interoperability and privacy and safety? What are the best practices for hiring for industrial internet people, expertise? How do you train people? How do you reorganize your staff? All of those things you have to learn by doing. We could go write papers and guess what it's going to look like, but it's better to go try it and do it. For example, in your native land, we have a industrial internet testbed called the Infinite Testbed, supported by the Irish government, by the County Cork government, by University College Cork, by EMC, and the project lead is from EMC, in fact. Sorry, that's now would be Dell. And it's simply integrating the government resources at the national level, the county level, and the city level. But think what you can do once you do that. For example, you could integrate the National Health Service data of health records of Irish citizens and residents with the ambulance management process that's managed not by the national government but at the county level. So you can make sure when an ambulance arrives at your house, they already know who you are, they already know if you're diabetic or you have high blood pressure or you have Alzheimer's disease or something, and they can treat you better. And that information goes back from the ambulance, back to the National Health Service and to the receiving hospital. So when you arrive at the hospital, they already know how you've been treated, what the medics have done on the way. Lives will be saved. This is really societal impact at the highest level. And the way you do make that happen is by testing the ideas and see what works and what doesn't work.
Fantastic. What's the next 5 to 10 years going to hold for the IoT, do you think, or the IIoT?
I think there are going to be positives and negatives. I'll tell you the negative first. The negative is there will be some other technology which will be the hot technology. Here's the good news. It will be IoT. It'll just have a new name. A very famous computer scientist 40 years ago said, I don't know what language people will be programming in the year 2000, but it will be called Fortran. Now, he wasn't right. It wasn't Fortran. It was C. But the point is, we have a tendency to relabel our technology and our ideas, and technology doesn't move as fast as people think. The words change every 5 to 10 years. So you say 5 to 10 years, I don't think IoT will still be hot, although it has been for the last 3, which is quite amazing. But these ideas are transformative. They are disruptive. So we're going to see a different way that agriculture is done, a different way that manufacturing is done, a different way that transportation and logistics are done. Think of the opportunities. Do you know how much food is wasted, perishable food is wasted from farm to table?
30%?
Yeah, it's about a third. So think about the impact if you could do something better to integrate, for example, information coming from the farms and information coming from the supermarket chains. You know exactly what to ship when and where. But that's going to have societal impact on transportation and logistics. You won't need as much trucking. So all of these things are interrelated, and we have to learn by doing, figure out where the changes are, take advantage of those changes, and governments should be watching this as well to ensure that the societal impact is lessened as much as possible.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. You segued nicely into it. We can fix the technology, or we can get the technology ready. Can we get society ready?
We can, we must, and in some places we won't. And that's just the reality. But smart governments are looking now not to see what is the expertise that we'll need in 10 years, what's the title of the person we're going to hire in 10 years. Maybe not even what is the specific technology they should be studying for so that they have that knowledge and understanding in 10 years, because nobody really knows. Data scientist is the exciting new title now, but it's really the same as a statistician it was 10 years ago. It's better that we train people to be flexible. And there are some governments that do that. There are some governments that do a great job. For example, here in Germany, where the Länder, the provinces, do a wonderful job of training people and retraining people and responding to the needs of their companies, the companies in the land. So it's a national process, but managed by the provinces. Then there are countries that do a particularly poor job of tracking changing technology. I won't name any. But the good news is, by having a process to actually capture knowledge about how IoT is changing and disrupting those markets, there is an opportunity to know before those changes happen. And it is the responsibility of those governments to ensure they're watching that.
Richard, that's been great. Thanks a million for coming on the show today.
On the contrary, thank you. It's been a pleasure.